my okay, no, I'll make it go.
Stories
Sorry.
of ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Wow. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our very first live stream on the King Danes podcast. And I have with me the man from down under in Australia, Nottingham, Australia.
Now me they start with okay.
Aboki Aminu. How are you, brother?
Yo, my people, how you they do now? Everybody they okay, Abi? Yo, thank you.
Okay. Welcome, Jibril Aminu of the African Fighters. And of course, Ebuka Akara Ogona. How are you, brother?
Hi. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here. This is actually my debut, in the octagon. So I'm happy to roll with legends like King Dems and Jibril of the African Fighters. It's my pleasure to be here among you guys, man.
It is the pleasure is all mine. See, listen, before we start, apologies for interrupting you when you were talking. I'm going to do that so many times in this stream. So if you are going to get annoyed about it, I'm very sorry.
Because it is Jibril.
No, because
that is one.
You can do anything you want, man.
Wait, and another thing I would like to point out is that right now in this stream, if you are a Nigerian, you can tell that this is a melting pot that we have here. Ademola is one of the most Yoruba names in the country. Wow. Ebuka Ogbonna is one of the most Igbo names you would ever hear. Me, I literally have Aminu and Aboki in my name there. So right now, if you're Nigerian, you understand that this is Nigerian unity. This is Wazobia going on right here. So I didn't know until when you started recording, and then I looked at the names. I was like, every part of Nigeria is here.
Yeah, do you know what? I was actually thinking about it. I mean, the reason I'm saying, this is we don't coming together be this, so this is so
Demola, did you do it? Did you do it on purpose, or was this by accident?
No, this is kind of by accident, and it reminds me of something recently. I've been seeing the number 666 a lot lately, right? So at some point I checked my podcast page and I saw that I had 666 followers last week. And then today I made a transaction at the bank, and then I saw on my bank what's it called, banking app, I saw 666 pounds. I'm like, why is the number following me? So
make you arrange your ways. Arrange your ways. God, they send you sign. Say your village people work.
Wazobia FM.
Well, now this is one. This kind of thing we're supposed to promote. We'll come together and we'll talk fighting. By the way, there's a Nigerian on this card that we're about to talk about, so I'm actually excited to talk about Sadiq.
Oh yeah.
Before we delve in, I know Jibril is quite excited about some fights, and he's not interested in certain fights. So let us take the good news first. Let us take the good news first, right? In the order of how you appear on the screen, like what fights are you actually excited, about?
Should I go first?
Should I? Me?
Okay. Who wants to go first? Jibril wants to go first.
I mean, I can start. So obviously the main event, right? And I understand that. Hey, person they call me Ryan. They call me. My WhatsApp started ringing. Anyways, the main event of that card is something that I know that all Nigerians are emotionally attached to. You understand? Alex Pereira don't break Nigerian hearts, even though we've gotten our revenge. Just actually, he
though.
may literally this time last year on your birthday. Actually, Demola, on your birthday, that
On
was
my
when it
birthday,
happened.
actually, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Alex Pereira, I am annoyed with how this is something, my own opinion. No,
The
I'm
fast
annoyed
track.
with how quickly the UFC pushed him. They gave him favorable matchups. They never really put him against grapplers in there. They just allowed him, give him easy matchups until he got to the title. Now this bros has won 2 titles in the UFC, although he's yet
Yeah.
to defend Sha. But he has won 2 titles in the
Kind of
UFC, and I would hate for him to carry on this like Dana White privilege kind of like legacy. You understand? So on the other hand, that is on the B side of this title fight, there is Jamal Hill. Now my guy be that. Absolutely love that guy. He's a stud. We know that he relinquished the title because he got injured, which in my opinion he probably shouldn't have. It was a bit amateurish from him, but regardless, that guy
But
makes me
then
laugh. He's a crazy guy on social media. I like somebody with humor like that. Although you can say Pereira has his own dark type of humor, but Jamal Hill is a very funny guy. I love his striking. He's incredible. He's got so much potential, so much talent. He feels like a fighter that still has like space to grow. So obviously, I'm emotionally attached to the main event, right? Another fight I'm emotionally attached to is Super Sodiq Yusuf fighting. Super Sodiq being a Nigerian in UFC 300. I'm absolutely stoked about that fight, mostly because he's put in that card to get beat. You understand? That matchup was being put there for him to get beat. So I'm totally excited for that one. And the third one is I want to see the baddest fight. That is the baddest BMF fight, right?
I'm angry with that
And then
fight.
the fourth one, I don't want to talk too much. The fourth one is Jiri Prohaska. I would rather have Jiri Prohaska than Bonico or than Charles Oliveira, because Jiri, when he fights, we don't see judges, bro. The fights they end brutally in a violent way. So I think I've spoken too much, but those are the fights that I am majorly excited about. Stacked card, never miss. This is like
Bro,
a Kiss Daniel
this one
album sort of thing. No,
top to
no bad
bottom,
songs.
top to bottom. Narrating
Yes,
this one is top to
no
bottom.
no
Like,
bad songs
Bottom to
from
top.
starting to the end.
bottom to top, bro.
So
Like, damn.
Ebuka, you go. Which ones are you excited about?
Bro, I've been watching the UFC since 2020. Like actively. Obviously, from Nigeria, when I did Nigeria before I come UK. I've been watching but once in a while, because that time I didn't really have money to afford the DSTV premium subscription as at that time. But
Grass to great
this
story.
card is this card is the best card that I've come across. So I'm absolutely pumped to answer the question. The fights that I'm most interested in is Bonico. This guy is brand new, just 5 fights in the UFC, in MMA. He hasn't been hit, he hasn't been punched once. But again, he hasn't fought anyone who is a wrestler. But this guy he's fighting, Cody Brundage, has a bit more experience than him, about 17 fights or thereabout. He's also a wrestler, he has a wrestling background as well. But the odds, 2,100 to what? Favorite.
Let me put the odds in here.
Put it up, bro. It's just insane. I can't imagine anything like
1.05. So it means that if you bet £1,000, right, on Bonico, you can only profit £50. That's madness. And
that's
there's
absolutely no value there.
So if you bet £1,000, you win £11,000 if Cody Brundage manages to win. So it means they've actually written off Cody Brundage. It feels so sad, to be in that
straight up, which is insane for someone who has the kind of experience that the guy has, right? Cody, obviously, a lot more experience than him, and just had a new baby, I think, as well. So some of these things. Yeah, I'm excited for that fight. I'm not saying he's going to go into the second round this time or anyone will win, but I'm excited for that one. The second fight, I'm excited about seeing. Usually we'll talk about the men, but there's a lady that I like her fight style. She gives everything. She's passionate. The Chinese, the battle of the Chinese.
Jibril
against Yan Xiaonan. Bro, that fight is gonna be awesome. Anyone that hasn't watched it,
Jibril would not agree with you.
Look out for that fight. Look out for that fight. I'm interested to see that one. Obviously, it's a stacked card, so every fight is, I will be glued to my screen. But these two fights, and of course the BMF, Gage, we all know how Gage fights. He leaves everything, he hits like a truck. So yeah, bring it on, baby. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Are you not excited, guys?
Are you not excited?
Super excited. For me, apparently, obviously, the main event, right? I want to see Jamal Hill knockout Alex Pereira. To be honest, right, aside from the whole easy sentiment behind the story, I feel like skill for skill, Jamal Hill is a true light heavyweight. That's against Alex Pereira, right? Alex Pereira has been fighting with middleweights, and for you to have your lights, put out by a middleweight, which is easy. Come on. If we saw what he did to what's that Brazilian guy's name that said John Walker, yeah, that said he was in the desert.
Something that is scaring me, basically something that I'm scared about with regards to that main event is the fact that Jamal Hill, I saw him in some pod or in some interview, he was talking about, I am going to prove a point by striking with Pereira. I don't know if this is tactics for him to come and start grappling, because that Pereira guy, because of all his experience in kickboxing, that guy sees strikes coming from miles away. You understand? It's almost like the way Izzy knocked him out was how he was supposed to get knocked out, not like when you are exchanging strike with him mono in mono. You understand? It has to be some unorthodox thing going on, because like how Izzy did his little rope a dope and then clipped him on the head. I just hope that that's not what Jamal Hill would come into this fight with, like this mindset of I have to stand and strike, because we saw similar thing when Pereira fought Strickland. Strickland was claiming the best boxer in the UFC, and then he came with his Philly shell like this, and we saw what Pereira did for him. Not that the Philly shell doesn't work, because he became champion using that style against Izzy. But regardless, I just pray and hope that Jamal does not come with that mentality that I have to knock this guy out, because if he does, it's going to be a big mistake.
And you would think that. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Okay. So something that's interesting. Everybody's always scared to strike with Alex Pereira, but if you remember the Jan Blachowicz fight, that fight was close, and you can make an argument, you can make a case that Jan Blachowicz actually won the fight against Alex Pereira, and he stood and banked with Alex Pereira. So if you get your game strategy properly, you can actually stand and bank with him if you are a proper lightweight, not a middleweight. That's my take on the striking.
Yeah, so something I just wanted to add as well. They are the same height, they are almost the same, they are the same reach, and then the leg reach as well, almost the same. So these things count in fighting. I mean, normally you would think that Alex is the bigger guy, the taller guy, but they're the same height, they are the same reach. So you can make of that whatever you want. It's going to be an interesting one, definitely.
Interesting. I think another fight I'm excited about is Super Sodiq, right? For obvious reasons. Over Niger know the carry last, right? And if you saw that fight with Edson Barboza, he was piecing Etim Barboza up in the very first round. Like, I wonder how that, that fight was not stopped, in the first round. And, Etim Barboza being the legend, the veteran that he is, he found his way back into the fight. And you could make an argument that Sadiq actually won that fight on split decision, but it is what it is, right? So, they say you're not as bad as they say you are, and you're not as good as they say you are. And in MMA, you're only as good as your last fight, and people only remember the results. People don't really remember the details, of what went on in that fight. So it's like they're trying to set him up to be beaten by this other guy, but we will see that Niger know the carry last.
Niger.
I really hope he comes out, on top in that one. Fire for fire. Speaking, Jiri Prohashka, right, versus Alexander Rakic. That fight is going to be fireworks, and I'm happy it's the feature prelim, so I can see it on UFC Fight Pass. All right, before heading into the pay-per-views. I think another fight that I'm excited about, but you guys did not mention, is Aljamain Sterling, going up to featherweight. I really want to see how he's going to feature against Calvin Kattar. That is the classic striker versus grappler matchup. Let's see. The human backpack.
I think against Kattar, Sterling has an Who is favorite?
Aljamain is favorite.
Yeah. So because I feel like Aljo has enough striking to stick in there and then wrap Kattar off, and then maybe give him just be a backpack. But one thing that we're going to look out for is the strength difference, right? There's a difference of strength when moving from bantam to feather. So I think that's where we would see, because when Aljo climb your back and he puts his leg around you, he never let go, right? Because he's very strong for his division. But now that he has moved up, I guess it would tell whenever he takes Kelvin down, we would see if he can stick around there. Although we know he has struggled a couple of times to make weight and all that. But yeah. Ebukana, your sister be this?
Yeah, that's my other sister.
I'm not a sports analyst, but this is good. Thank you very much, Choma. Interesting.
Sup, Choma? How you doing, Choma? Hope you're doing all right. Yes. Welcome to the Kingdom Spot. See, Demola, they do your work for here. Now you suppose they hype Choma up, no be me.
Yeah, you're welcome to the African Fighters and the Kingdom podcast. Oh, Choma
all right.
is with us.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, should we start from the bottom then with the prediction?
Okay,
let's get into it, bro.
Yeah,
I want to know what you guys are feeling, are thinking. I want to know what you're thinking. Who is winning this? Who is winning these fights? And how many knockouts are we getting on Saturday night?
Do you know what
I want to know.
Do you know what we're feeling? You want to know what we're feeling? let me give you what we are feeling. A moment, please. I'm just going to.
What thing you they do?
I want to give you something. What we're feeling.
What are we feeling?
I know.
This na Kingdom's production. Kingdoms. We did live.
I'm going to present something to you.
Okay, this better be good, man.
Okay. It is good. It is good. Oh, come on. This is what
it better be worth it, man. What is this? Oh. You know, say she
a wager.
Anyways, that's the video song. Then we'll feel it.
So It took you
that is
2 minutes. It took you 2 minutes just to make that point. Okay, it's okay.
that is what we are
And
feeling.
another thing, you are not afraid of copyright. Be careful with this music. Oh, this their
I'm,
Sony
I'm,
music people that will
I
that
am
will
telling
slam your
you.
video.
I am
All
telling you.
right.
Let's go back to our MMA predictions. So, anyways, we did not play the sound, so you saw what we are feeling. Basically,
Mhm,
should we start from the bottom of the card, right, and work our
mhm.
way up to the top? So we have the early
Because
prelims.
I'm going to make a proposition. Because we have so many fights on the card, I think we should be as quick as possible with every fight. Because
Okay,
if we waste time on each fight, we are going to be here
We'll see.
for a
I
long time.
swear, I swear, because from top to bottom, it is stacked.
It's a long.
It
This is
is
what
Every
Buhari called
fight,
top to bottom.
every
crazy.
fight, every fight on this card is a main event of either a fight night or a pay-per-view.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
I agree.
right, even right from the very first
Cody
fight, because
Cody
it's two
Garbrandt.
champions,
Cody Garbrandt is opening the prelims, the early prelims. You know how
Two
crazy that
former
is?
champions. Two former
two
champions.
former champions.
Absolutely insane.
It's
This is a
crazy.
marquee event, right? So
Mm.
let's start from the very first fight of the night. Cody Garbrandt, like you said, versus Davison Figueredo. Jabril,
Damn.
go first, and next Ibuka. Who do you think wins this one? And just before you guys give your comment, the odds. Davison Figueredo is it's a favorite at
Favorite.
1.3. Yeah,
Yeah.
1.3. And Cody Garbrandt is
If I
the
was a
underdog,
if I was a
3.5.
bookmaker, if I was a bookmaker, the odds for uh Figueredo being a favorite will be higher than what it is. Because I think Cody, no love Cody, unfortunately for him, I know that it is a running joke within MMA community and MMA casual saying, "Oh, he has no chin anymore." We've seen
Mhm.
things that have happened to him, and unfortunately, I would say it's true. He has been in so many bun burners, and I feel like the way Figueredo hits, he hits very hard. This time, he's not fighting in flyweight. Moving up weight, he wouldn't have issues cutting weight, and his style is he bangs very, very well, very hard. And I can also see a circumstance where Cody can actually beat Figueredo, where if he
Oh,
stays from the outside and box, as we know, he's one of the finest boxers we've ever seen. Ever seen. I think when it comes to boxing display, that his fight against Cruz
Dominic
back in the
Cruz.
days,
Yeah.
like when it comes to boxing display, there's never been any performance like that in the history of the UFC. I
Yeah.
think the closest will be Max Holloway when Max Holloway was fighting in Abu Dhabi that time that he was speaking to commentary and boxing. But when it
Ah,
comes to pure boxing, I don't think there's
this
ever been a
commentator.
performance like that. So if there's an edge for Cody Garbrandt to win, it's there. I understand these are very light fighters; they are not very heavy, so it doesn't take one punch to knock out someone. But still,
Yeah.
uh, I give the edge to Figueredo. Figueredo would win this. I think. I don't know, man. I will just
My
throw
Yeah.
it out there second round.
one
But yeah,
method.
that's it.
What
Ogbonna, you unko?
Yeah, bro. I don't think Cody is gonna get no love in this one, bro. His nickname is No Love. He ain't
No
gotten no
love.
love.
No
Yeah,
love
I'm
for
just
no love.
but so his last he lost to Rob Font, lost to Kai France. He came back and beat two cans. I think Rob Jones
Wait,
and
wait,
Brian
wait.
Kelleher. And
On Google, it's saying that Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway is cancelled.
I will be
uh,
happy. But
Huh?
the
so
interesting thing
what
is,
happened? What
it has
happened?
been showing like that for like a week. He's been showing like that for like a
Eh.
week. So don't
Uh,
be
I mean,
scared.
I've been watching Embedded, and
So,
I've they've been
yeah,
around, unless it
they've been
literally
around. They
happened
made weights and all.
recently.
Ah, I better
Yeah,
go.
but
Wait, and okay, I think it's a Google issue. Google
It's a
is
good issue.
messing up because
Yeah,
it's still showing it in the matchup and then it's Kuma showing it cancelled. Sorry, Ogbonna, I
yeah,
interrupted you. Continue, please.
I was saying so. No love, got the no love. Lost to France, lost to Kara France. these two guys will know their credentials, and they've been in the top 10 for a long time. And then he came back. He's on a 2-fight winning streak right now, actually, beating I think Rob Jones and Brian Kelleher, which I watched that fight. I think those two guys they're not at that level. And then he ended up finishing, I think, Kelleher, and then he called out the killer. Somebody Figueredo. I mean, look at his face, bro. The guy doesn't laugh. He's literally, yes, he has had his own troubles recently with some losses and all that, but he has established himself in the division after his last win against Rob Font, right? So in this one, despite the fact that their strike landed is almost the same, Figgy is a bit older, about 4 years older. Figgy has the higher reach. This is going to be a knockout for Davison Figueiredo in the second round.
Kingdoms, let's take yours before we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine is very quick. I'm on the side of the Figgy. I'm on the Figgy side. I think Cody Garbrandt has actually, taken too much damage over the years, and he became a champion at a very young age. I think around 25, 26, thereabout. So there's only so much damage you can take in the course of your career, and the chin is washed up. That being said, I think Figueiredo will find that chin, and the statistics just favors Figgy. So moving on to the next fight.
All right, unanimously, we all pick Figueiredo for this. I think should we do like our little bets here, and we should have a list, and everybody would make his pick and pay off. I think that's what the people call it, pick and pay off. So we'll pick, and the winner of this should I don't know. Should we put money together? Should we send Amazon gift card? What should we do? I think it will be a good idea. Okay, great stuff. All right. So all of us pick Figueiredo. Moving on. The next fight is Jim Miller versus Bobby Green. All right. What do you think, Ogbonna? Real quick.
I don't know what has happened to my yeah. So in that one, I'm just gonna go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Nepa to the lights for a moment.
Yeah, my screen has gone green, but if you can hear me, then I'll just go on.
We can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna pick Bobby Green. I think Jim Miller has set a record. UFC 100, UFC 200, and now UFC 300. But there's something about age. There's just something about age that I don't think the fight sport is unforgiving. That age will always, it will catch up with you at some point. So
Mother Nature.
This one I'm just gonna go straight. It might be a decision actually. I think Jim can hold up to either the last round. So either a third round TKO or Bobby Green by decision.
JB, what are your thoughts?
All right, so I'm doing math here. I'm calculating something. So the math I'm doing is I'm calculating the amount of pro fights both fighters have. Bobby Green has 31 fights, 31 wins, 15 losses, and 1 no contest. Jim Miller has 37 fights, 17 wins, 37 wins, 17 losses. Put together, both of them have 101 fights combined. That's the amount of experience that is in that cage. And I think this fight, they should just call it what it is. Loser leaves town. I think that's what they call it in pro wrestling. If you lose, you go home. If you lose, you remove your gloves and keep it there. Both of them veterans, but one of the most, the obvious veteran is Jim Miller. As you said, Jim Miller was in UFC 100, UFC 200, and now UFC 300. I remember the person that lobbied for him was Adam Catterall of BT Sports. Now he's on TNT. He was having an interview with Dana White, and he's like, Dana, can you do me a favor? Jim Miller has been this. Can you do this? And Jim was like, and Dana was like, yes, we'll do it. And he did it. And he got the perfect matchup for him, who in this case is Bobby Green. I think It's a fight for the veterans. If there is a fight that will go to the judges' scorecard, apart from the ladies, we know the ladies, 90% of the ladies' fight go to the scorecard, anyways. Which is one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of women MMA. I'm not trying to get your podcast cancelled, Demola, in case you're wondering.
No, you will get yourself cancelled. Anyways, we're speaking of women MMA.
Bobby Green
Chioma says, "I'm watching and I'm learning."
Yeah, shout out to Chioma. Yeah, so Bobby Green, Jim Miller. I'm going to go with the favorite, Bobby Green. I think this might be a unanimous decision one. I think this might be one of those fights that we are just going to use as one of those things that has a story.
It might be a fun one at the end of the day.
The thing is, if one of them connects, it's like, they don't really have the chin that they used to have when they were much younger. So maybe that might happen. Again, if you're watching this, you can tell I'm a casual. Yes, I'm a casual fan. And as a casual, I'm going with Bobby Green. That's my casual opinion. I think Bobby Green wins it by unanimous decision, 29-28. How about you, Kingdoms?
Interesting one, interesting take. So basically, I'm a numbers guy, right? And then I'm going with the numbers. The numbers are telling me that it's in favor of Bobby Green. 37 years old versus 40 years old. Looking at the strength of schedule that Bobby Green has had. Bobby Green fought Rafael Fiziev. He did really fantastically well in that fight. He went on to fight Islam Makhachev. He went on to beat some other guys, and until lately he beat Tony Ferguson. Yeah, I remember. And then he lost to Jalen Turner. Right, so he's currently ranked, say, number 12 or number 13, right? So that actually shows, it shows the caliber of opposition that he's been able to beat in recent time. Whereas Jim Miller has been fighting on ranked opponents, right? His longevity is actually highly, highly remarkable. However, I do not see Bobby Green and Jim Miller at the same level in terms of competitiveness. So I would give it to Bobby Green. Our next fight.
All right, Jessica, let's move on. Next fight, right. Women's strawweight fight, Jessica Andrade. Okay, so all three of us picked Bobby Green. Just putting it out there. Yeah. The next fight is Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. As you know, I don't care about this fight. It's probably going to be my piss break. I'm going to go maybe make a cup of tea, maybe go play with my kid, and then come back and continue watching. I don't care, but if you would ask me and force me to actually make a pick, I'm going to go for Jessica Andrade, mostly because she's the person I know, even though Marina Rodriguez has a better record. I've seen Jessica Andrade so many times. Most of the times I've seen her, she's taken L's, by the way, but she hits hard. But I'm still taking Jessica Andrade. Is Jessica the favorite here?
Yes, she's a favorite. 1.72.
Okay, I'm going to do this, right? Because all of us have been picking the same thing. I'm going to go with Marina Rodriguez. Sticking my head out there. How about you guys?
Seriously, you just stole my pick. Because you just stole my pick because I was going to go with Marina Rodriguez, actually.
Yeah.
Same here. I was thinking exactly the same thing. I've looked at the stats.
What is you guys doing? You guys are copying me. Okay, fine. I'm going back to Jessica Andrade. Sorry, Ebuka, continue.
And Jessica is 5'1". The reach, Marina has the better reach. Marina has the better record. Marina is younger. I'm going with Marina Rodriguez in this one. And I'm actually going with a split decision on this one.
Okay, I'm going with Jessica Andrade since both of you guys are following me. Follow your lead.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, next one.
Jessica Andrade is actually up a loss, right? To the girl in the co-main event. Yeah, Shan. Right. So I think knockout losses are not so easy to come back to win.
Come back from
Yeah. I'm going with Marina.
Speaking of knockouts, Jalen Turner, which is a fighter I've seen that had one of the most devastating knockouts. Like, he put someone to sleep. It was so scary watching that. It's almost like he killed
Jalen Tarantula Turner.
Yeah, I forgot who it was. And he's fighting Renato Moicano. At some point, Renato Moicano was touted to be like a champion, like he's projecting to be like one of those top guys. However,
However,
uh, I'm gonna leave this to you guys. Let's go. What do you think about this fight? I'll go to Egbona first. I say Egbona,
Look,
Ogbona, Ebuka. Sorry.
Jalintona is a very tall guy. He has a massive reach advantage, actually a 5-inch reach advantage over Renato. And that guy is good. I watched that against who is this this
Robert
Australian
Green,
guy? No, Dan Hooker. I watched him
Dan
against Dan
Hooker.
Hooker. That fight was a good
Mm.
fight, good scrap, and Dan Hooker, I think, finally took the decision on that one. If you ask me, I'm going to pick Jelintona on this one by knockout in the second round.
You know, because of how reckless Jalen is, he has suffered a lot of losses as well. He's 14-7, which is not beautiful. Although
Yeah.
you can say the same for Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira has like a long list of L's in his career as well. But yeah. Who is the favorite here? You know, I'm not a gambler. I cannot tell with these numbers.
Jalen Turner
right?
is a favorite with 1.4, and then Renato Moicano is the underdog. He's got 3. Yeah.
Okay, Demola, take your pick first. Make your pick before I make my pick. Who do you pick here?
Stars, they say make fights. I think I'll be siding with Jalen Turner because he's got the advantage, height advantage, reach advantage. Renato Moicano is actually very, very reckless in his style, extremely reckless. So I think that will be a disadvantage to him. So he will come, charging like a raging bull. But Jalen Turner has a better measured approach, right? And he's got the striking advantage. So, and that guy has power. He's got power in his limbs. So I think I'll go with Jalen Turner. Maybe second round or third round knockout.
I think Jalen will get reckless. I think Renato will catch him. And I'm going with Renato for this one, TKO second round. There'll be a ground and pound there that will happen as well. I would hate to see the judges in this.
But
any
when
loser.
you look at it, Jalen is on the right side of 30. He's 28 years old. Renato Moicano is 34. So the age advantage also plays on the.
I agree. But once Renato weathers the storm, because I'm sure you guys are just drinking energy drink. Once Renato like weathers the storm in the first round, because we know how Jalen starts, is very, very aggressive. I think he would be able to systematically take him out there if he survives the first round. So I know this is an odd one. Renato is a very, very big underdog. I can see he's at 3.0. How do you count that in 3.0, right? That's a massive underdog. That's like that's like minus 300, right?
So
I'm going.
Plus. Yeah, that's plus.
Oh, that's like plus 300.
Yeah.
I'll go with Renato on this one. All right, moving on.
Okay.
We are going to enter the prelims, and the prelims opener, because we just went through the early prelims. Prelims opener, we've got Diego, the exciting Diego Lopez, right? Fan favorite, violent fighter, but he's going up against Omo Naija. You guys would know him as Super Sodiq. But he is also, as you know, he's also an actor because he was on the Disney Plus African TV show of Iwaju. Iwaju, ladies and gentlemen, Sodiq, Super Sodiq Yusuf is on this card, and I'm very happy he's not in the early prelims because that means they respect him small. Sodiq versus Diego Lopez. Again, as I said earlier, they put Sodiq in here to take an L, but I think Sodiq, we saw him against Barboza. We saw his first round against Barboza. It just happened that he put it all out there. But I think if Sodiq stays in there and keep up with the consistency and the pace, he would be able to get this done. I would not want Sadiq to come in to be like, I want to be calculative. I want him to. Diego Lopez is not going to come and be being calculative. I want Sadiq to be to attack fire with fire. Anyways, my prediction: Super Sadiq Yusuf takes this in the first round.
Oh man.
Everybody, let's go with your piece, Mr. Osbona.
Is it my turn to pick? Yeah, I was gonna say, listen, guys.
Come on, that is what is on the screen.
This is a tough one. I've watched this Diego guy. I think I watched his last fight. The guy is good. He's coming off a win, as we know. And there's a stat I want you guys to have a look at. Yeah, submission. Diego has a submission of percent of 5.29, right? Average submission, and Sadiq has none. Diego is taller. Diego is a bit taller. He has the better reach and everything. I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but on this one, I might be wrong, but no, I don't want to make people. No, I'm going with Omo Naija. Sadiq, you see?
No, dog, go
on this one.
No.
I don't want
this one that you are swinging. You were mentioning, Ebuka, you were mentioning submission stats, right? I will be happy to let you know or remind you that Sadiq is the owner of the fastest submission victory in the history of the UFC featherweights. He did that in less than 22 seconds or 21 seconds last year? Was it last year or 2 years ago? I think it was just about before I interviewed him that one time, and I was asking, and he was telling me he didn't get a performance bonus for that submission because it was crazy knockouts. It was in the Apex on that card that he fought. But anyways, he is the owner of the fastest submission in the history of the UFC and the featherweight division, I mean.
Yeah.
So he also has some submissions, and the submission that he has is what did they call that one? Guillotine, Abi?
Guillotine choke.
Yeah.
I mean, they put person for armpits, yeah.
I mean, now, I've looked at their records a bit more, and if you look at it, this is what you call a pick and fight. I think this one can go either way, actually. But obviously, as a Niger boy, I'm not gonna I'm always gonna pick the Niger guys, and
okay. Let me make something nice. Like we should do our picks for our own pick and payoff that we want to do after the stream for WhatsApp. Everybody sending picks, so but here we can do our predictions, but there our pick we will use your head, not your heart. Here we are using. Here we are trying to do both. Demola, how about you?
Whoa!
Are you going to go with your Yoruba brother?
I'm going to say something. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. Both in private and in public. I'm a man of my word. I'm going with Sadiq Yusuf. Both for obvious and non-obvious reasons, right? So I think this fight should actually be a coin flip, right? It should be something. The line should be like 1.8, 1.9, right? Because both fighters are pretty much evenly matched. Let's not
exactly
beat around the bush. The odds are not telling the true story, are not telling the true tale of the tape. Maybe closer to the fight, they might change. Sadiq Yusuf has that slight advantage. Look at who has Diego Lopez fought, right? Versus who Sadiq Yusuf has fought. He has the better strength of schedule, and then he's battle tested. You could make an argument that he won Etim Barboza in his last fight.
In that fight.
So Sadiq Yusuf used to be ranked at some point. He was in the top 15 at some point before some losses. Is he still ranked? I'm not very sure. He's still ranked. Yeah, he's no longer ranked.
Yeah, he's still ranked. He's at number 13. He's number 13.
Number 13. Yeah, so
you see, he was in the top 10.
Yeah, so Diego Lopez is not even ranked, right? So Sadiq is actually battle tested against higher quality opposition. I think he's got that edge, in my opinion, and I wish him the very best. Jibril.
All right, moving on. Hello? I feel like
two
my
big
my
ladies
my
again.
screen froze. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
I
We
can
can hear
hear
you.
you. Yes, mine froze as
Am
well.
I
I
mo-
can't see you
am I
guys
am
from
I
the.
moving?
You're moving. I can see you.
You're moving. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next. It's a woman bantamweight fight. I like when the girls are heavy. Not that they are very heavy, but this is Holly Holm coming back versus
Hmm.
Kayla Harrison. This is
Hmm.
one of those fights that it's like, what if Kayla fights this person? What if Kayla before she came into the UFC? So this one might be exciting. Might be exciting. This is one of the few female fights that I might be excited about. Right? I love to see Amanda Nunes, and that's it. But this one, I might be.
How about Ronda
I
Rousey back in the day?
Pumped up for this one.
Oh, Ronda. I beg. Ronda who? You know, Ronda came into WWE and left WWE and started cursing the business. She is an idiot. Uh,
No Ronda slander allowed here.
Bro, Ronda Rousey is the most egotistic maniac. Sorry for my
Yeah,
English.
we had that
That you would
personality.
ever find. She's a hypocrite. She released a book recently, and she's currently on a tour, having interviews about the book. And go listen
Yeah,
to the things she's
she
saying.
was on this
She,
guy's podcast.
yeah, she's coming across very, very unlikable, saying a bunch of
Stupid
hula baloo.
assholes.
She's very, very. She's such a hypocrite, to be honest. I am not a fan anymore. I used to be a fan. Anyways, this fight, I'm going with Kayla Harrison for this one, mostly because of the age difference. Holly Holm is a name that is looking good on the card, but I don't think Holly Holm still has it. I understand that she's a beautiful striker, is she? Yeah. She used to be a
Yeah,
kickboxer, isn't
decorated
she? Am I,
kickboxer, boxer.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she's in the Hall
Yeah,
of
but
Fame.
Kayla, na Madam Talk and Do. I believe her, and I think I'm taking Kayla for this one. Is she the favorite on this one, please?
Yeah,
Yes,
Kayla is the
definitely. She
favorite
is
on
a
this one.
favorite.
I can't see my screen. Oh.
Same here. I can't see myself as well, but obviously I know that you
Yeah.
guys can hear me. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
been
All right.
lagging for a while.
Yeah.
Can you see
How
your
about
screen now?
you, Ebuka? Ebuka, how about you? Don't
Yeah.
worry, it's not about
Um.
you. It's not about you, Demola. It's from our side. But
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
how about
So
you, Ebuka?
on this one, I mean, Holly Holm. Again, I say again, age. Very good fighter. You guys have just reeled out her records there and everything, but I think this one's going to be a boring fight. Sorry to break it to you guys, but I think it's going to be just yeah. I watched. I think I watched Kayla's. I think last fight, the one she lost also in the PFL, and she was quite poor in that fight. It was surprising. I think that's her only loss, of course, on the record. 16 and
Yeah.
1, 16-1-0.
16-1.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is going to be a boring fight, and Kayla will just win it by decision. A boring
Yeah,
decision.
I think she'll
Because,
grapple a lot, wouldn't she?
I beg to
yeah,
disagree with you.
yeah,
I do beg to
yeah.
disagree with you. So I think Kayla is actually coming into the UFC with a lot of chips on her shoulder, right? And there's a lot of pressure on her to actually make a statement because
Mm,
there's this disparity between fighters in the UFC and fighters that are not in the UFC who have actually, achieved a lot for themselves. Look at MVP coming in against Kevin Holland, for example, right? He
yeah,
did, all he could do to ensure that he gave a good account of himself. Look at Justin Gaethje when he came from Bellator as well, right? Look at Michael Chandler when he came from Bellator. These guys always have fantastic, debuts because there's a lot of pressure to prove yourself. And who better within the top five to have been, given to her. So she's actually expected to demolish, Holly Holm. And I think that's exactly what she's going to do. And even given the age difference, she's 33 years
yeah,
old. Holly Holm is 42 years old. And the numbers, tell me that anytime there's a 10-year or more gap between fighters, the fighters that are younger tend to have, the advantage more than 60% of the time. So the numbers are tilted, they're lopsided in the favor of Killer Harrison. However, in terms of the pressure, right, of proving herself, I think she's going to come in full force and try to steamroll Holly Holm. It's going to be a really really bad night. So I'm rocking with Killer Harrison.
All
Jibril,
right.
what do you have for this?
Yeah. Hey, it doesn't even matter. I did go with Kayla. As you said, that you've talked me into believing this is going to be one of those 3 rounders. I think this is another point that we can bet on. Will any female fight go finish without the judges? I think all the female fights will get to the judges' scorecard.
No, I don't think it's going to get to the judges, to be honest. I think Killer Harrison will come for the finish. I strongly believe that. She will go for the finish. Yeah, most likely a submission. Yeah, remember I said so.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're taking record.
No wahala. All right, moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, the next fight. It is Calvin Keita versus the former champion, the former
Bantamweight champion.
what?
Bantamweight
Bantamweight champion. Yeah. Aljo Sterling. Aljo, obviously, the UFC refused to give him to Sugar to fight to get his title back. My guy has left the division and went to chase the featherweight division. Obviously, on top of the hill of the featherweights is Ilia Topuria. However, Kelvin Keita has been a fighter that has always been on the main card of most pay-per-views and fight nights and main eventing fight nights. Kelvin Keita is an incredible striker. Aljo, incredible grappler. Famous for being the heaviest backpack in the UFC. Once he grabs your back, he's going to do some damage.
Rap.
Anyways, yeah. So Aljo versus Kelvin Keita. I am going to be quick and short with this. I am giving the edge to Aljo on this one. I think he can manage to strike with Keita, and I think he can also outgrapple Keita. The only question mark I have with this fight is the power difference, because Aljo is moving up a weight class. Would he be strong enough to keep Keita on the ground? I guess we'll find out. But I'm still putting. I think the smart pick is going for Aljo on this one. Aljo by submission, second round. How about you? I'll go to Demola first.
Okay, so I'll point out something to you. Let's go back to the numbers, right? Do you know that the difference, the weight differential between featherweight and bantamweight is actually not much, right? So 135, climbing up to 145, that's probably like a 5 kg difference, right? So 5 kg is not really much in terms of weight differential. So that being said, Aljo is a big boy, right? He used to kill himself to cut weight, down to 135. Yeah. So he would actually be healthier, right, at 145. And this guy is a high level, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So it's a classic striker versus grappler matchup, right? So but then all fights start on the feet, right? So Calvin Keita, if he's able to impose a style just like what Sugar Sean O'Malley did, to Aljamain Sterling, it's going to be a bad night for Aljo. So I think the odds do not really tell the true tale of the tape. I feel the odds should have been closer, right? But I would give the edge to Aljamain Sterling because he has, this unorthodox striking style that, upsets traditional strikers. And if he's able to shoot for the takedown, it's night. Once I take your back, like a backpack, it's going to be a wrap. So I think Aljo third or second round submission. Yeah, that's my pick.
All right. All right, let's move on. We still have a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't forget, hit the like button and subscribe to the Kingdoms podcast. I know it's not my podcast, but I'm doing the job for this guy. Yes,
For
please.
now.
What's me talk?
Subscribe. I said, if they do for your guy, you don't remember me.
Oh, well, yes. Subscribe and follow. I am Ebuka Tycoon because Ebuka is the man of the money, innit? He's the money
He's a
tycoon.
business
Ladies and
tycoon.
gentlemen, follow Ebuka Ogbonna on social media on I am Ebuka Tycoon. And if you like, follow me. If you know like follow me, now your own be that. Now you sabi. Well, if you'd wanna,
I never give my
I
pick for
am.
that one.
I am
Yeah,
baby underscore Aboki. Oh, you haven't given your pick. I am very, very
your
sorry
sister,
about
your
that.
sister says let's go with your pick, Mr. Ogbonna.
Yeah, of course. We'll
Are
have to
you
go
are
with
you
my pick.
retweeting? Are you retweeting this?
Who, me?
No. Demola. Yeah.
I'm not retweeting anything.
Yeah, let's
like,
let's go for your pick. Let's go for your pick
I
because
wanted to bring your attention to something. I wanted to bring you guys attention. So if you look at on the grappling side, Aljo is the one that has the advantage there, and that's a fact, right? But takedown defense of Calvin is 91% in the UFC. That's really high.
Okay.
That means very few people have been able to actually take him down. I mean, obviously, Aljo is coming in here with the better record, with the better win ratio. 4 straight wins before obviously being stopped by the Sugar Sean. And Calvin has disappointed me since that masterclass he put on against Gigachikaze. Since he put, since he absolutely outclassed Giga in that fight. That fight was one of the most brutal fights. I don't know if any of you remember that fight. Giga's face looked like he had been hit by a rock.
A baseball bat.
That was absolutely, he now took a loss to Josh Emmett, who of course we know, a veteran, and then Allen. And unfortunately, Calvin is going to be getting his 3rd straight loss in this one, and I think he's going to lose.
Sorry, Ebuka, I beg, no vex, eh? I'm going to disappear and I'm going to come back, okay? You guys just continue. I will rejoin. Don't forget to add me.
I think I'm having that same
join
problem
back now.
that you're having. All right, no problem.
Okay, so you're speaking about Calvin Keita. He's being handed his next loss.
Yeah, I think he's good. Yeah, I think this is going to be the 3rd straight one. I think Aljo is just going to have it, too much for him. Unfortunately.
So I think our next fight is Jiri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. Whoa, a fight that I think at the beginning all of us were all excited about this fight.
Excellent.
What are your thoughts? Like, what is your peak?
Oh my god, this one, bro, this fight, this is one of those fights that, funny enough, Alexander is actually the favorite in this one. I didn't expect that. I don't know what you think. I don't know if you expected Rakic to be the favorite in this one, but
I never
he is the favorite. Which is strange, right? But the thing with Yuri, Yuri's style, I don't know if I was a fighter, I don't think I would use. He's a bit too rash. He can do so many different things. He's a bit, all over the place sometimes. And I feel like he often leaves his chin hanging. And, this is going to be a chaotic fight. This one is going to be chaotic, and anyone can take this one. So I'm going to pick. If I'm to pick, though, I think I'm going to go with Jiri Prochazka in this one. But just.
Wow, yeah. I think I'll be excited to see who JB is actually going to go with, but with my eyes closed, like I'll pick Jiri Prochazka anytime, any day. I don't care about what the odds are, right? And it's interesting to see. I think if one should want to, get value in terms of the bets, right? If you're going to be staking on fights in the UFC 300, I think this is one fight that you can get a lot of value of. This is 2.0 versus 1.8, right? So Jiri Prohaska is better battle tested. Like, really, who has Alexander Rakic fought really in the build up to this fight? Who really look at the strength of schedule, right? But I think they're factoring the Pereira loss, of Jiri Prohaska, right? And who did Jiri vacated the title?
Yes, Jiri vacated the title, and then he fought with Pereira for the vacant title and lost the last one. So
But then I'm struggling to remember now. Like, did Jiri beat Glover Teixeira, or Teixeira beat Jiri when they fought?
I think so Jiri had the title, and I think Glover took it from him. No, Glover took the title from Jiri, I think. Yeah. So
it was a very close fight. I think he submitted Jiri in like the 5th round or something. If my memory says me right. So Jiri is it's a stud. He's a stud, and he would have a lot to prove in this fight. Sometimes people don't get to consider or factor in the fact that certain fighters are coming in with certain chips on their shoulders, right? Coming in with something to prove and with added motivation. So I think that long layoff that he had probably affected him in the Pereira fights, right? But now he is now getting into shape. And the Jiri Prohaska that will know he is a warrior. Remember the Jiri Prohaska that we saw against Dominic Reyes? That guy is killer. He's a killer, and he hasn't not really absorbed much damage, in the build up to this fight. So I think he's got the advantage.
I pick him as well. In this one. I'm not gonna lie. I think even though the stats say that he has absorbed more damage per minute than Rakic, but I mean, stats are just like bikinis. They show you enough, but they don't show you the main thing. So
interesting. Shots fired. Shots fired. Interesting.
So we'll see how this one.
A word is enough for the wise. Whoa. So, Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage.
Oh man, this one. This
is a crazy combination. Like, how do you set up somebody for failure, for downfall? Like, I don't understand it. Like, how would you feel if your name were Cody Brundage, if you were Cody Brandage's shoes? Like, how would you feel?
Bro, if I was in his shoes, I'm not sure I'm going to be taking the fight anyway, because that's where it starts, right? I mean, obviously the guy took the fight, so I'm sure he wouldn't take a fight if he doesn't think he's going to win. So, and in the press conference, I mean, there's no value on Bo in this one, and I saw someone
absolutely no value
on social media say that, okay, I've put £5 on Cody, and I'm not expecting to get it back. Right? It's one of those ones where, okay, you put it just to see if he's going to cash in, right? I mean, which is possible because, this guy is not, 10, he's 10-5. That is, if you, Wabo is 5-0, so he has 50% more, 100% rather, more wins than Bo has. Would that count for not something? Maybe, But obviously, if I'm to pick, I'm going to still pick Bo Nickal because I think he's the more accomplished wrestler, and this might be a wrestling fight in the end.
But then when we get to compare their stats, right? Cody Brundage is 29 years old. Bonico is 28 years old. In terms of height, are similar. Cody Brundage is 6 feet tall. Bonico is 6'1". You know, in terms of the reach, you know, Bonico has a reach advantage 76, inches versus Cody Brundage at 72 inches, right? However, the hype the hype is a lot on the Bonico side. And remember what they say in Nigeria, that overhype killed 2020. We're all looking forward to 2020 and see what happened. The pandemic just came and swept it. So this reminds me of when Amanda Nunes was fighting what's her name? Juliana Pena.
Juliana,
Juliana Pena the first time. Do you know that I was siding with Juliana Pena and I had my money on Pena, and a lot of people were looking at me like, oh, what kind of madness is this, right? And when Pena won, I was like this psychic.
Did you cash out? I hope you cashed out. Did I fight?
No, I cheat, made a lot of money, and it was so sweet. And I was feeling like
on top of the world.
I was feeling on top of the world because there was a guy, on Clubhouse. Yeah, I remember I used to be on Clubhouse then. And then there was this guy that was saying, oh, do you know the only way that Juliana Pena would win is if an asteroid came, from the sky and landed in the octagon? And do you know that this guy ran away from the platform where Pena submitted Nunes, right? So, as long as you have two professionals, are put against themselves, I always believe that there is always a puncher's chance for one of them.
Yeah.
So I feel it's highly disrespectful seeing this kind of odds, for Cody Brundage. That is 11. So that means that if you actually bet £1,000, right, on Cody Brundage, you would win £11,000 if he wins.
Yeah,
that is massive. That means he has been counted out. So now let's put this into perspective as well. If you actually bet £1,000 on Bonico, right, and Bonico wins, it means that you are going to cash out £1,050, meaning your profit is just going to be 50. That is madness.
That doesn't make any sense.
That is high risk, low reward.
Exactly. That would be a huge,
That is high risk, low reward. But for me, if I were to go, I think I'm just going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to go for Cody Brundage.
I don't pick. I picked Bo. I just have to do the obvious one there.
No.
I might have some money on Cody though. Just like that person said. And I just put my little those minds like £5 on top of them. See what's going to happen.
So if you did £5, you are going to be going home with £55. Which is yes, 300 might just be your opportunity to become a billionaire in pounds.
which is a good turnaround, isn't it? Yeah.
Wow. So, interested. Holy cool. So what's the next fight? Let's see.
The next fight is gonna be
Charles Oliveira,
bro,
versus Aman Sarukian.
Bro, I don't know why Charles took this fight. I feel like this fight is a banana peel for Charles. Anytime,
it's a high reward. Yeah. I feel it's very similar to Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis.
Benoit Saint-Denis, yeah. Exactly, similar kind of fight. Let me look at Aman's record. I think Aman has been winning his recent fights. He beats Dariush, that Dariush win was very impressive. Very, very impressive win.
Yeah, but Charles Oliveira as well has beaten Dariush.
Yeah, funny enough, their last fights
Yeah.
were against Dariush, the same guy.
Dariush.
Yeah, which is interesting, right? Yeah, but then Ahmed is coming on 35 win streak after losing to Matthias Gamrot, while Charles has four wins in his last fight, five, only losing to the champ and the pound for pound number one, Islam Makhachev.
Islam.
This is an interesting one. There's going to be lots of grappling in this one because these two guys are very good grapplers. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You know what's going to give here. Nobody knows.
Well, who are you going with? Who are you going with? If you had a
Well,
gun put to your head and you had to pick one of those names.
I've doubted Charles a whole lot of times. You know, during those times when he was running through. Remember when he was beating the beat Pore, beat
featherweights.
I was doubting him. So I'm gonna go here with Charles Oliveira, and this is gonna be a submission. I'm going with Charles Oliveira submission here. In the last seconds of the first round. That's my pick in this one.
That's a bold prediction.
It's gonna be in the very first round. He's gonna submit. This guy. I think Charles have come of age. You know, he's a very experienced fighter, and he's been here several times. So even though he's the underdog here, I don't know why he's the dog here, but we'll see.
But do you know another interesting thing? Charles Oliveira and Aman Sarukian have another opponent in common, which is Islam Makhachev. Right? So Aman Sarukian fought Islam Makhachev very early in his career, right? And it was a close fight. It was a close fight. So people have been saying Aman Sarukian has the style of wrestling that can pose some trouble for Islam Makhachev, right? However, Charles Oliveira is a grappling specialist. He's a high-level Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, right? And he's also good in terms of the striking. You saw what he did to Michael Chandler, pissed him off, right? So that being said, right, I think I am being biased here. When
you're allowed to be biased.
When you look at it skill for skill, right?
Yeah.
Skill for skill, and even in terms of the age advantage, I think Sarukian is younger than Charles Oliveira. Sarukian is 27. You know, it's just approaching his prime. Charles Oliveira is 34. So that is like a 7-year difference in age. So Sarukian has the advantage in terms of, age, in terms of, the winning streak, right? Or I'll give it to Charles Oliveira because in terms of the experience, skill for skill, Charles Oliveira, he's on a different level. When you look at the quality of opposition that he has faced over time, Sarukian has not faced that level of opposition, and the only person in that dimension, which is Islam Makhachev, he's lost to him. Like you said at the beginning, why did Charles Oliveira even take this fight in the first place? It means he wanted to prove himself, because literally he had that fight, against Islam cancelled. So he should have actually waited for the title shot. Yeah, it is what it is. He wants to prove himself. Whoa, another fight that I am very, very upset about is the next one. Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. Why did that fight get booked?
Why are they making? Right? I like those guys.
High risk, low reward.
Yeah.
Because think about it, if Max beats Justin Gaethje, means Justin Gaethje's pathway to another title shot is gone, and age is no longer on the side, right?
Mm.
If Max gets beaten up, severely by Justin Gaethje, because we know Gaethje hits like a train, he hits
Yeah.
like a like a
Yeah,
rock.
it changes the dynamics for you. Like if he
Yeah,
hits you, your
yeah. See what
career
he
might
did to Tony
just.
Ferguson. See what he
Mhm.
did to Ferguson. It was downhill, from that beating. So I'm scared, for something like that not to happen to Max Holloway, because looking at Volkanovski losing to Topuria, right? Max should have been the
Mm.
next in line, to challenge Topuria, but it is what it is. That fight got to a booked um, before Volk actually lost to Topuria. So sometimes you don't get to see the future. But if I were in his shoes, or if I were his manager, I would have pulled him out of that fight, and let him face business at the
Yeah.
featherweight. But stylistically, uh, who do you think? Who are you going for? Who do you think
Bro,
wins this one?
sometimes you wonder why fighters take certain fights. Some fights are just jeopardy fights. Like you said
We
there
have
just now.
JB back.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm back,
Okay, is it
baby.
back?
I'm back,
JB,
baby. I
Yeah.
been
What?
I been
Goki.
now my male been call me.
Oh wow,
She
Okay.
been they
regards
call
to
me since
regards to her.
I've been there. I sent her a message. I was like, Mom, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. She no con they hear what she see they call me.
Wow,
I said make I call, make I see what thing they happen. Apparently she did not see my message. She just continued calling.
wow.
All right, apologies. Which fight we did now?
We're
We
talking
don't
about
reach BMF.
Gaethje, yeah, Gaethje Holloway.
All right, I'll be listening. All right, go ahead.
Hmm. Yeah, I was saying, I wonder why fighters take certain fights because, especially for Max, if I was Max Holloway's manager or his wife
Wow.
or even his son, that is his little son, I would tell him, say, Daddy, don't take this fight to this JJ guy,
He's a
because
destiny changer.
yeah, Max is a very likable guy around the industry. People like him a lot. And yeah, yes, he hasn't been knocked out before, right? Or even knocked down, I think. He has some very good stats, but this might be the fight that changes all that. He has a record of 25. Funny enough, both of them have 25 wins, but Max has 7 losses, while Gaethje has 4 losses. And they have similar records. Max has won 4 of his last 5, only losing to Alexander the Great Volkanovski, one of my favorite fighters. While Gaethje has only lost to Gaethje has lost 3 of his last 5, losing to Charles and to Khabib, right? So in this one, I'm gonna pick. I don't know if it's knockouts. I don't know if this is gonna be a knockout or a TKO fight, but I'm gonna go with the TKO in this one to Justin. I'm gonna give Justin this one by TKO.
I think the smart pick is Justin Gaethje winning by TKO.
That's my line.
Mostly because I'm giving it TKO because Max has a very solid chin, so it would need more than one punch to get him out of there. But we've been seeing lately something about Max has pulled out from the fight. Oh, this fight was cancelled. A bit of a rumor up and down.
Until you
Hmm.
see it
I
live,
feel like
you believe
I feel like since the Ilya Topuria victory against Volkanovski, since that happened, I feel like Max regretted accepting to fight for this BMF title because
it.
if he wasn't scheduled for this for this 300 card, he would be the clear-cut #1 contender for that fight with Ilya Topuria. If he can find a way to get out of this fight, I think the next fight will be against Ilya, but I think it's a bit too late now.
Mhm.
Uh
And he moved
Regardless,
up as well.
one of the most loved unlovable fighters in the UFC. Max Holloway, he no get wahala with anybody. I think I'm still gonna go with Justin Gaethje on this one. Justin Gaethje is going to do a backflip off that cage after he gets that TKO victory. So
I think I'm going to play devil's advocate here, right? I'm going for Max all the way by decision.
oh please.
Decision.
You know that
Wow.
you know that Gaethje Max is moving up a weight class. Number one, number two, Gaethje is also a D1 wrestler. So like if he wants to grapple, he can grapple. You understand? Gaethje is sparring partner with Kamaru Usman. He's
Yeah.
big like a welterweight. I hear call him okay.
Because I don't want to go with it. So, if you look at what
Yeah.
I'm going to be going for privately, right? This is where you pick something on your betting account, but then you see another thing. Just play to play devil's advocate. I can't be picking the same thing with you. But really, right? If Max Holloway has any pathway to victory, it is for him to land volume. Try to keep the distance, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the only way. Avoid takedowns. I really, it's hard. It's hard. But to be honest, Gaethje is a clear-cut favorite for this fight, and I wish Max the very best because he's a very very likable guy, very charitable guy. Look at the charitable work he does in Hawaii, right? But it is what it is. Let's see. Gaethje has my pick. Next one, Wiley Zhang versus Zhang Xiaonan. Jibril Aminu. Those are your sisters, your cousins, all the way
My
from
Chinese
China. By the
sisters.
way, by the way, Ebuka, all right.
Gentlemen.
There's a background
Yeah.
story. There's a background story to China for JB. He actually lived, and schooled in China for
In China, are you serious?
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a Heilong, the way
Ni
that
hao.
easy Easy calls himself Heilong, that is Black Dragon. Myself, I'm a Heilong, I'm a Black Dragon. Was she Heilong
Yeah.
ma? Do ya? Omo, if you hear wetin I talk, you go know say I no too sabi Chinese. But
Man, I'm a Shifu.
yeah. Anyways, my girls, Wei Jiang. That's how you pronounce the name. Wei Jiang. Okay.
Really,
And then the other one is Xiaonan. Xiaonan. It depends on how it's written, but Xiaonan
Yeah.
Yan. So Xiaonan,
yeah.
you can also call it Xiaonan. Can be like it can be translated if it sounds somehow can be translated to little man. Xiaonan.
As the
Anyways,
name implies, they are
uh,
little.
I don't really care too much, but in this fight, this is a very, very close fight in my opinion. I don't
However,
agree with the
the odds are yeah.
bookmakers with Xiaonan having that much of being the underdog like that. I think if you're a betting man, it's a very good bet for you to pick Xiaonan. You might make some money because she can actually beat Wei Lijiang by unanimous decision. And I think I've spoken myself into picking her to win the fight by unanimous decision. She'll score the points, and it would be one of the few fights on this card that would end in the judges' scorecard.
Oh God.
Who are you going with,
You know what?
Ebuka?
Go ahead,
You guys
Ebuka.
know I said it. You guys know I said it earlier when we were. You remember my favorite, the ones I was looking forward to, and I picked this fight. And I like Zhang a lot. I think I love her dedication to the sport. I like how she fights. I mean, if she was a man, maybe she would be a bit more appreciated, right? Because let's be honest, this men obviously are a lot stronger, but I love how she fights. She's all action, going forward, pushing forward. No, no break. She fights like a Marab, like a machine. So
Marab, machine to
yeah,
garnish.
I'm gonna go with Zhang Weili in this one. This one is obvious for me. I think the bookmakers are right, even though maybe it's a bit wider. It could have been narrower, but I don't care. I'm putting my money here on Zhang Wei Li. This is going to be a 5-round fight, right? I
Yeah,
think
fine,
he's
bro.
going to go. Yeah. He's going to go to the championship rounds, and Zhang Weili is going to get this lady out in the 4th round by technical knockout punches.
I think I'm sorry. I beg to disagree with you. I am going with Jean Shaonan. I hope I'm not bothering the name. Shaonan Yan. By the way, Jibril, what is Shifu? What is Shifu?
Shifu is master or uncle.
Okay, that is me. Shifu Dames.
Shifu?
Shifugazi.
Did you see the way Jean Shaonan beats Jessica Andrade? Like,
how she beat her?
We're talking about Jessica Andrade that was champion how many years ago? That, in my opinion, is washed out.
Yeah, but
that doesn't really count, you know.
Okay. So how about Thugros Namajunas, who beat Wiley Zhang twice?
I mean, Thugros, well, you know, someone that trains with Kamaru Usman. You remember that they're in the same camp. You know, Trevor trains them, Kamaru and KJ. I mean, when you train with a champ like Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian nightmare, I mean, you're always gonna have a chance.
Now my Egbon be that Egbon Usman.
So okay, so I'm going to tell you something, right? Anytime Weili Zhang is faced with quality strikers, she tends to go into deep waters, and sometimes she gets drowned. Look at the biggest fight in women's MMA history, or would I say the most interesting fight? That was Weili Zhang versus the Polish lady. What's her name?
Jan Jacek.
Yeah, Joanna Jacek, right? You saw the tough time Jan Jacek gave her, right? So anytime she's faced with quality strikers, and that is what Jean Shaonan is. So I am actually going for her, and I think it's going to be a knockout, probably around the 3rd or 4th round. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going for.
Well, she does hit very hard. She hits very hard.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the main event. Ladies and gentlemen.
Drum roll.
Nami be Bruce Buffer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you have all been waiting for. Live at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Hey, time. 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC light heavyweight title of the world. Introducing first. Standing. Okay, you don't do. All right, we've got
out of the blue corner.
Wait, you don't do. We've got Alex Pereira. Actually, I'm gonna start with the challenger. We've got Jamal Hill, former light heavyweight champion of the UFC, and we've got current champion of the light heavyweight division in Alex Pereira. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a burner. This one, say our people they call something Isakaba. So what's they call that in Odeshi? The embodiment of Odeshi is Alex Pereira. He looks like he's made of liquid metal. You understand? He they be like Indaboski, if you get what I'm saying.
I am a war.
He is a Bahose, innit? Yo, that guy is like Robocop. He has a mean left hook. Like the power it packs his left hook is crazy. It's crazy. If you can survive that left hook, you can win. You can beat him. Anyways, he's going to be fighting I don't know. Should I call him a striker? Should I call him? I don't know, man. This guy's style is like street kung fu. You get me? Jamal Hill, right?
Yeah, it's
He's
well
like a
rounded.
street conf very well rounded. I can't remember the first time I saw him take an L was against Paul Craig. Paul Craig is that fighter that only has one move, that is only to take
Yeah,
to pull guard.
the Scottish guy.
that,
Yeah.
that's the only thing he does. He pulls guard and that's it. Anyways, I saw him. He dislocated his arm or he broke his arm against. That's the only time I saw a bit of weakness with regards to Jamal Hill.
That's his only
But
loss.
hmm but that guy, he knows how to piece people up. He punished the godfather of Alex Pereira. I'm talking about Glover Teixeira. He punished
Did
him.
you see
It
the
was
hair
one of
between
those.
them?
It was one of
In
those
Africa.
fights where the judge, the corner needed to throw in a towel because of that was how much damage Glover Teixeira was taking. Glover had to, like, he's a stubborn man. He had to retire, even though he was planning to retire, but that was like his calling card. Like, okay, I can't do this no more, man. This kid. And if you remember, I think if you've seen I don't know if it was added to the embedded because I haven't watched the embedded yet. During that fight against Glover Teixeira, I'm sure it will be in the cold opener. You would see after Jamal Hill became champion, Pereira
That's
was in the
it.
corner of. He was looking at him like, you know the head of that, that statue or in Benin, that head where Benin people they get, where no emotions, like looking like that. Uh, yeah. So yeah, I'm just building this up for people that are listeners to understand what's at stake here. Is fighters that actually have a bit of history. It's fighters that both of them have characters that they've developed for themselves.
Mhm.
This is like why UFC is what it is. It's a big company. um it this is, if you are looking for similarities between pro wrestling and MMA, this is one of them where there is actual history between both guys. I feel like the video editors will have a very good time in it, making a story about both of them because there's enough content for it. um I think the storyline is incredible. We are going to be entertained, guys. I cannot wait for this main event. I actually prefer this main event in 300 than Easy versus Dracos.
Oh,
I'm
really?
telling you guys.
Really?
Yes, because Easy
Even in
versus
terms of the
Dracos,
build up.
I'm going to be too much emotionally into it. I'm not
Yeah.
going to
Yeah,
enjoy it.
you
But
so
this
sad.
one, this one I can enjoy if you understand what I mean. Well, Ebuka, do you share the same sentiment as I do?
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. 100. I think this fight will deliver. I think
Yeah.
I've seen enough of these guys to actually say this with confidence.
Mm.
And I don't know. I believe also that we're likely to see a knockout in this one as well.
Ah,
There's
certainly.
no
This one
way
I
you see
sure.
So
judges.
yeah, let me take
This
you
one
guys.
na sure finishing.
Let me take you
But
guys to a
as
start
as
here.
usual, as usual, Ebuka, pull your stats up
Mm.
and tell us
Yeah,
from your stats machine there.
yeah. Let me take you guys to a start here. I mean, Alex is the more accomplished striker, right? Like, at least he's supposed to
Mm,
be the more accomplished
Yeah,
striker.
definitely.
mm,
But strikes landed per minute. Actually, Jamal Hill has more. Even though
mhm,
obviously strike landed is different from significant strike, so it might not necessarily mean anything there. But what can we get from that? If you're landing more punches, then I mean, who says there's no possibility that you can get a clean one there? So he has more
mhm,
more strikes landed than Alex. Even though in accuracy, of course, Alex has more, 62 to 54. Absorbed, they're almost the same, they're almost similar,
mhm.
and then takedown defense for whatever reason, yeah, also similar. So, bro, I think this fight will deliver. Um, I don't know. Something tells me that Jamal Hill will take this one. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but I just have that feeling that the guy. I've watched the embedded, 1, 2, 3. There's just this thing about him. There's this confidence he has. There's just this, in the weight class. Obviously, he has been in the weight class more than Alex. And yeah, I'm going to pick Jamal Hill in this one.
Oh yes, I don't think I've made my pick. I picked Jamal Hill as well.
I'm going to pick Jamal Hill in this one.
Why are we all going for it?
honestly speaking,
Because there is no way, with me being president Israel Adesanya Fans Association, right? There's no way I'll put myself for that way. There's no way. It's just the way I would do that to my boy. But
I mean, maybe we all have the same bias. Who knows? You know.
No. Aside from the bias, right? Skill for skill, right? Think about it. Do you know that Portan is actually 36 years old? But a lot of people do not raise an eyebrow about his age. Like he is past his prime, right? And he has taken a lot of damage from the world of kickboxing and all, right? But then I think that easy knockout actually exposed him. And Jamal Hill has got, dynamite in his hands. And Jamal is younger, he's 32 years old, right? They have same height, same reach, right? So they are evenly matched. And Jamal is he's a more natural light heavyweight. I don't see the fight going the distance. I think second or third round, knockout, because Alex will be very confident in his striking, but Jamal will unleash on him, and Jamal is the more well-rounded mixed martial artist. You really can't put him in a box. He's not a kickboxer. He's not a boxer. He's not a wrestler, right? He's one of those, new generation of mixed martial artists who got into MMA, studying, for MMA itself, not, coming from one discipline and, having a crossover. So that being said, I think the advantage goes, to the heel side in an uphill battle. So, UFC 300.
That guy has a crazy backstory. He had his first child, I think, at 16 or something like that.
Jamal Hill.
Yeah, where were you at 16, guys? Demola, where were you at 16? And this is after you see the read book.
Sweet 16 in Nigeria.
At 16, I was a nerd. I was even shy of girls that time. I could not talk to girls. It's not. I still cannot even talk to girls. I'm still a shy boy. But at 16, I don't know waiting they do me that time. I don't get sense that time.
Let me confirm that. Yeah.
Different environments, like come on. He grew up in the hood, and so some other people grew up in the favelas. Those American projects. This is basically hood versus favela story, right?
Oh yeah.
Because Puatan is a favela boy, and
he used to be a vulcanizer, Abi. Or was he Pereira? He used to be a vulcanizer as an adult, not that he was like, I think, was he vulcanizer or mechanic inside one of these two jobs.
Wow.
Honestly, Pereira also has his own story. Not to say that.
And him being a vulcanizer or mechanic was not too long ago. It was very recent.
Wow.
And he don't make money until he come UFC now.
Because he said he was in some pub, watching Adesanya or something, and Adesanya was running his mouth on TV. Because he did not make much money from kickboxing, to be honest. Wow.
Yeah, there's not too much money in kickboxing.
Yeah, win or lose, he's heading for the UFC Hall of Fame already.
Oh no, he's He's
already a legend. He can actually go on to heavyweight, I mean, who says he can't go on to heavyweight?
He was thinking of fighting Tom Aspinall at some point. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I don't want him to be on that trajectory wherein, come on, you're now like the greatest UFC fighter of all time. Because if you beat them at middleweight, right, and then you went up to like heavyweight and you defend it again, and then it's the next thing on your mind now, it would be to go for heavyweight. Come on, why? But aside from that, Jamal Hill is the king that never lost his title. He vacated it. And I know Jibril was actually angry at that. But think about it, he's also a beneficiary of that kind of opportunity because Jiri vacated. That's the reason why he had the opportunity to fight for the title. So he just had to pay it forward. Not acting like John Jones that likes to, keep the division waiting. And John Jones is doing the same exact thing again at heavyweight. That's not a nice thing to do. If not for the fact that he is, the all-time, pound for pound GOAT, he should have been stripped of the title. See what happened to Francis Ngannou. Why won't you fight, Aspinall? Like, that's just a normal thing. But then I wonder why they are keeping him and Stipe fight.
We have started entering inside heavyweight conversation. We are staying to 300. We are staying for UFC 300. And we have been here. We have been here for almost 2 hours. Ogademola, make you free your audience like that. Even Chioma don't tire. She don't run.
Wow.
So these guys are not going to finish anytime soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. I think it's been a really, really fantastic, time together analyzing UFC 300. Where are you going to be for the fights?
I think I'm going to stay up and maybe see the early prelims. And maybe get to Sadiq and then sleep and then wake up and see the rest because I need to sleep, man.
Ibuka, how many Red Bulls are you gonna drink?
I mean, actually, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I don't know where I will be, but I would love to watch the fights. Actually, yeah, maybe this will be.
Demola, they do watch party, Kingdoms. They do watch party.
I think Ibuka, you can see me behind camera to organize, something. I could host you.
We can have that conversation.
Yeah, you can go to the Demola's place, but since we are live here, I'm gonna keep it PG, innit?
Okay, no problem. So,
all right.
End of stream. I hope you guys enjoy UFC 300. It's one love from me, Jibril. Ebuka, any shout outs before we end the stream?
Ladies and gentlemen, please follow Ebuka Ogbonna on I Am Ebuka Tycoon with double ON. As you can see there, follow him on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, everywhere. Follow him. Just the follow and they go. And you can follow my boy, King Dems.
Follow Jibril Aminu at JB_Boki, and of course the African Fighters podcast.
Oh yes, the African Fighters. Yes, we are giving you guys weekly every Sunday, and you can see them all there dropping his knowledge. Yes, I think we are going to do the reaction on the African Fighters. If you are free, Ebuka, we can do this on Sunday.
Yeah. Of course. Please, you guys invite me. Yeah,
Oh yeah, no, Allah. 9 p.m. Sunday. Be there. B square. P square. Game over. Bye.
Bye, guys.